Hello Physics Nation, my name is Nate Larmond, and I'd like to do a setup video for the fourth activity in the fall 2020 semester. So as usual, let's go to the website, go to Schoology, go to your class. Here's third block AP. We've played the name game. Hopefully you've memorized your classmates' names and hobbies and played with the mute and unmute button. We watched the Gapminder video on ending extreme poverty. He uses statistical data visualizations to attack misconceptions. And let's see, we did a little bit of Khan Academy. Hopefully I passed out the join code and you did the first 4 questions in Khan Academy. Wrote me a traditional solution and then recorded that solution with your sort of verbal explanation over top of it with Screencastify, the video capture software I'm using right now. And so here we are. Assignment number 4, does height affect walking pace? You applied a linear model, but does it have predictive powers? So seems interesting here. Measure your height in centimeters. All right, so that's the first problem. Just because you don't have a ruler doesn't mean you can't make a distance measurement. See this piece of paper? Yeah, it's 11 inches long. So really what you have to do is take a piece of paper, fold it in half again, and this is 1/8 of the length, 11 inches. So, it doesn't take rocket scientists to start chopping up this piece of paper into fractions. A half of 11 inches is 5.5 inches. And if you multiply by 2.54, you get 14 centimeters. So it's kind of a crazy coincidence. A quarter of 11 inches is 7 centimeters, and 1/8 of 11 inches is 3.5 centimeters. So all I'm saying is if you have a piece of paper, you have a ruler. There are all sorts of standard lengths surrounding you. Look, don't have a stopwatch? Well, you're actually looking at a computer. So if you just Google stopwatch, you do have a stopwatch. But what I'm saying is there's always an alternate solution, a workaround. See this pendulum? Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. This is how they used to keep track of time. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And you can make a pendulum too. It doesn't have to be out of an LED light. So be resourceful. I want your height in centimeters and your walking pace in meters per second. All right, and here are some setup videos that my students made back in the day. Tay and Ethan, I don't even remember. Your video does not need the hype soundtrack. If you're good with all of that, feel free to be creative. We don't have a trundle wheel, but you can make a trundle wheel out of cardboard. It's easy. Yeah, you may want to find some masking tape. Get some masking tape. All right, well, I'll let you finish the video. They are geniuses. Thank you, Ethan and Tay. Here's another setup video by Ariana Latif. I forget when she graduated
How does
too.
height affect walking pace? Height is going to be the independent variable in this experiment, and walking pace is the dependent variable. To make the experiment accurate, each student walked 10 meters. This distance is a constant in this experiment. Before walking took place, each student was measured. Then a 10-meter walking space was marked and each student was timed as they walked at their normal pace in that space. To find their pace in meters per second, we would have to divide the 10-meter distance by the time it took for that one person to walk those 10 meters. Here are the data we collected organized into the table. Based on the trend line of the graph, height and walking pace are directly related, so taller people do in fact walk faster.
Fairly amazing video, right? She gets in and out, describes the methodology, describes her results in under a minute. So, both videos are amazing in their own right. Ethan and Tay have the live pictures of them actually taking the measurements. But Ariana's voiceover with her computer graphics are also amazing. So be creative. This is your video. I'm not as tech literate as you guys. All right, so those are the first two hyperlinks. Checklist for lab report is just sort of, well, as it describes, a checklist. On everything, put your name and date, state the purpose, the question, or the problem you're trying to solve. Hand-drawn diagram of physical system and apparatus. So, make a sketch, a concept sketch. Annotate it with the given information. So hand-drawn symbolic and numerical statement of measurements and assumptions. Right, so the symbolic notation is like delta x equals 10 meters for Ariana's distance. You're going to show me all of your calculations, explicit hand-drawn expression of all calculations and algebraic manipulations. And in this one, we're actually going to make a spreadsheet. So tables and graphs have a descriptive title. We're going to put column headings with unit labels in parentheses. And then we're going to make a graph. We're going to put the independent variable on the x with unit labels again, dependent variable on the y with unit labels again. I think we're only going to have one set, so we're not going to need a key. And this is definitely quantitative data, so we're not going to do a bar graph. Like Ariana said, we're going to put a trend line on it. We're going to write an analysis, and then you're going to speak through your analysis. And, just like a journalist, we provide evidence to support our claims. And then we use physics, some kind of mathematical model to explain, to provide a rationale for these claims. And maybe say how you could do it a little bit better, how you could become closer to the truth in the next attempt. And like Tay and Ethan did, provide some photographic or video evidence. They only had stills. Well, I don't want to give away the video, but they do actually show Tay walking through the hall at his normal, relaxed walking pace. So there's the checklist. Oh, College Board has their own checklist. If you're in AP Physics, these are the people who will grade your written and, numerical symbolic responses. So pay attention to their checklist. All right, so I think that's good enough for a setup. We're going to enter your data, that is your height and your walking pace, into this Google form. It's just a survey. So put in your name, what class you're in, measure your height in centimeters. You can obviously just multiply your inches and do a conversion. So like I'm 5'11", 5 feet would be 60 inches. 5 groups of 12 is 60. So 60 plus 11 is 71 inches. And then you just multiply by 2.54. You should probably grab a calculator. I know your computer is a calculator, but 71 multiplied by 2.54 is 180. I'm 180 centimeters tall. So you put that right here, just the number, not the cm, no abbreviation. And how fast did I walk? Well, I don't want to give away that. So like Ariana said, you measure some distance. You don't need a trundle wheel. Try to scrape up a ruler. Piece of paper is a standard measurement. This paint stick from Lowe's or Ace or Home Depot, it's actually exactly 12 inches long. So this is a ruler too. You could subdivide this thing in half, quarters, eighths, like that. Anyway, feel free to be creative. Distance over time is how fast you walked, and we're going to harvest this data. We're going to collect all this data just like Google does with you, except we're not going to sell it to advertisers. We're going to find a pattern. All right, we're looking for patterns in experimental data, and we're going to do this over and over again. Maybe 30 times, maybe 40 times. I don't know. We'll see where we are in January. The spreadsheet can obviously do distance divided by time. But I'm going to see if your answer for speed matches the spreadsheet's answer for speed. So put in your ratio, your walking pace right here. How many meters per second you move while you're walking at your normal pace. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.